just want to make 3 quick points. You had an incredible display here of the contrast between candidates. Sometimes there are elections where people say, wow, I can't tell them apart, or what's the real difference? Well, I think you saw plenty of difference tonight, plenty of contrast, and I want to note 3 areas. One, it's abundantly clear that Joe Lhota wants to continue the policies of stop and frisk that have divided police and community. He did not offer the slightest recognition of the problem that's been created by the overuse of stop and frisk, the constitutional problem, the community relations problem, the rift it's caused between police and community that's made us less safe. He literally did not acknowledge the existence of the problem and offered no solutions, no reform. I obviously believe we need to fundamentally reform our approach. We need a new police commissioner who will address the problem. And I think the people of this city want that reform and believe that fundamentally we can have that reform and stay safe. Second, on the question of taxes, I've made very clear it's time to tax the wealthiest New Yorkers so we can fix our schools. Mr. Lhota has made abundantly clear he wants to give tax breaks to wealthy people and tax breaks to major corporations. I called him out on it time and time again. It is trickle-down economics. It is a classic Republican worldview. He didn't in any way, shape, or form show a willingness to ask the wealthy to do their share to help our kids or to help us in any other way. And finally, Mr. Lhota loves to ask about whether I have a plan B when it comes to early childhood education after school. Well, I'd like to see his plan A. I haven't heard one. I haven't seen one. I haven't seen a real plan. He claims he's going to find the money somewhere. Well, we're facing a huge fiscal challenge because of open labor contracts, because of the problems of the federal government, because of so many other challenges, and because he's willing to give away our tax revenue to the wealthy and corporations. We're not going to actually achieve early childhood education and after-school programs if we don't have dedicated revenue. That's why I'm staying focused on winning this plan in Albany for the good of all, and particularly for the good of our kids. With that, I welcome your questions.
Lhota has said a few times that you're going to, tax the middle class. You're not going to stop at taxing the wealthy. Can you respond to that? Can you guarantee you're not going to?
I've been asked so many times I can't count what my plan is. It's only an income tax surcharge on those who make $500,000 or more for 5 years. I said it abundantly clear. I started a year ago saying this. Will not raise other taxes. I don't believe in raising other taxes. I do believe in asking the wealthy to do their fair share to help our kids.
But do you think it'll absolutely happen next year, though? Would you be satisfied if it happened in 2015, or does it have to happen next year?
With all due respect to the job you do, and I respect the job you do, everyone seems to want me to bargain against myself, and I just won't do it. The people of this city believe, check every survey you want, they believe in the power of early childhood education. More and more evidence is mounting every day. Look at the cover of one of our major newspapers today. It's abundantly clear if we don't devote ourselves to early childhood education, our school system will not be good enough. If we don't devote ourselves to after school, our kids won't get the help they need. I'm not backing down on that, and we will win in Albany by creating the support for it.
What about the fact, though, that at this point, Governor Cuomo, you have to admit, he is very lukewarm on this idea, which means that he's more against it than he is for it.
You know what?
And if he puts the kibosh on it, there's nothing else. So what else would you do?
Respectfully, if I hear one more interpretation of his words, could we just look at the quote? He has said he will look at the plan, he welcomes a discussion of the plan, and by the way, many, many leaders have one view on October 22nd that may not be the view they have on April 1st of the following year. So let's just accept the fact that clearly the governor's made clear his larger philosophy on taxation, and his purview is state taxation. And he may well take actions on that front, but he has said clearly he keeps an open mind. And most importantly, we will build support. I'd like to remind everyone we're in a democracy. If you build enough support for an idea, people who previously opposed it can come to learn that it's the right idea.
But if you don't get that support, what is your plan B?
Again, I am just going to keep saying it until someday it crashes through, respectfully. I believe this is what we need. I'm going to organize support for it. I'm going to fight with all I've got to get it done. I believe the people will be with me. I believe we'll get it done.
Bill, Mr. Lhota seemed to be much more on the tack tonight. He had a couple lines in his back pocket. Can you respond to that?
I didn't quite get the Mad Hatter line. I was trying to, I think that was a little dated. If I had said that to my kids, they wouldn't have known what the heck he was talking about. So, look, he had an approach, but he didn't answer the fundamental contradictions that I talked about a few moments ago. I respect zingy one-liners, but it doesn't replace substance, it doesn't replace policy, it doesn't replace the lack of a vision. He doesn't have a vision for the future of this city except to say more of the same. And Lord knows we learned this in the primary. People did not want more of the same. They want to see some real changes. They want to see us address the inequalities of the city, and he's not offering a solution.
How would you rate his debate performance tonight compared to the previous debate?
Guys, respectfully, I'm not in the debate rating business. I'm in the business of trying to win an election so I can lead this city in a new direction.
How about your performance and your best moment?
I feel good about having gotten my message out, clearly on addressing the inequalities in the city. And look, I appreciate any opportunity to articulate the vision. As you know, my passion is making these changes on early childhood education and after school. I'm glad they were thoroughly debated, because I think it gives a chance for New Yorkers to see how central it is to my vision for our future.
One or two more, please.
If this is about the future, why do the two of you keep talking about Rudy Giuliani and David Dinkins, neither of whom has been mayor for 12 years?
The bottom line here is I'm offering a vision for the future of the city. I don't hear Mr. Loda offering it. What I see Mr. Loda doing is attempting very, very negative tactics and divisive tactics. And unfortunately, I think he learned them at the knee of Rudy Giuliani. And he wants to repeat the tone. If you listen carefully, the tone's exactly the same. Again, if you look at that ad, today, by the way, is apparently the 25th anniversary of the first airing of the Willie Horton ad. And how apropos, because you put his ad, I'd like to ask all of you in your free time, put his ad up against the Willie Horton ad and look at the parallels and look at the comparison. It will be striking.
Last question, guys.
Do you think that, based on the race baiting line tonight, do you think Joe Loda is racist? Do you think that the ad was...
I don't think Joe Loda is racist. No, I think that ad was race baiting. I think you can see it abundantly clearly in the imagery of the ad. And again, it's clear as the day is long that Rudy Giuliani consistently engaged in race baiting tactics, and Joe Loda's picked up where Giuliani left off.
Great.
Thanks,
Thanks,
everyone.
guys. We got to run.